Good afternoon. It'll come as a relief to you that I'm not from the education space. So I'm not here to talk about accreditations or ranking. I'm going to share with you what I know, which has come from industry. As a backdrop, post the Second World War, the first copy of the Quality Control Handbook was published by Dr. Duran. It's important we know it was post Second World War. In that book, he had one revolutionary thought, and that thought was, quality is defined by the customer. The customer has the right to change their mind. Customer expectations are a moving target. The final inspector is the customer. The customer votes for you with his money. And the reason you exist is because you have a customer. Very profound. It was considered very revolutionary, and only the Japanese adopted it to compete in the global market. Let's move forward to 1973. When we had the oil crisis, OPEC crisis. In the oil crisis, the price for oil went up from $3 a barrel to $30 a barrel overnight. All business assumptions changed, one of them being the cost of oil. There were several others. But the most critical, which escaped everyone's mind, is that customer behavior had changed. Customers no longer purchased in economic lot-size quantities, but they wanted their goods just in time and fit for use. With that, processes started getting faster, better, cheaper. And they could deal with the high price of oil. Let's go to 1987. That's when Kimpro was born. Duran appointed 12 people in the world to carry his legacy forward. I was fortunate to be one of the 12. And one of the 2 in Asia. I didn't expect that. But what he drilled into me was a definition for quality. Fitness for use by the user. Fitness for use by the user. He also saw I was struggling pre-liberalization, trying to evangelize the subject quality when nobody had time for it. Everything sold. Seconds sold. There was a market for even your ready-made garments made close to Coimbatore. Seconds were sold, rejects were sold, everything sold. Where's quality? So he said, you're up the wrong buck. If you want to have an impact for quality in India, you need to focus on healthcare and education. They can transform the quality of life in India. We went on to form a foundation Kimpro Foundation. And in that foundation, we made it a trust, education and healthcare. Since we were into business, we also kept business around. I'm happy to inform you that a member of our foundation is sitting right here, Professor Rajan Saxena. He is my mentor for education. And sitting right in front is Dr. Shakuntala Lulla. She guides me on healthcare. So we are well represented as the foundation. I'd now like you to visualize an organization where the CEO has only 2 people reporting to him, her. 2 people reporting. One is the head of finance, and the other is head of quality. Why do I say that? Financial management works in silos, functions, departments. Your budgeting is also in silos. It's important. You need financial results. But where's the customer in all this? The customer is outside the organization, receiving output of work that flows horizontally, a process. Now, you need to have both the vertical and the horizontal to achieve excellence. You need financial results and you need customer delight. So now let me give you some elements of how to make excellence happen. There are 4 blocks for making excellence happen. Results, obviously, you can't escape. You need processes. The processes need an infrastructure, and the infrastructure needs a foundation. Let's look at one of them. Results in what areas? Delighted customers. Now, a delighted customer for education, who would that be? Who would delight? Who can you delight? Who is your customer? Industry. You're known by your placements. You're known by which organizations are coming to campus to queue up on day 1. Isn't industry a customer? Industry wants students who are employable and deployable. They don't have the luxury of time to now go through training you on the job, induction programs. That's all over. They expect you to have a finished product fit for use in their organization. In a changing environment, as Professor Saxena mentioned, in a digital world, where you need to look at agility, flexibility, ability to solve problems. What is the job of a manager? To solve problems. Empowered employees. How do you empower an employee? By putting the employee in a state of self-control, where they know the objective of their work, they have the means to measure their performance, and they have the means to take corrective action on the processes. What's the prerequisite for empowerment? Empower on capable processes. Do not empower by dumping accountability. You need a capable process on which you need to empower. Of course, you need higher revenues as you go along. Industry must be willing to, queue up for you. Students should be ready to enroll, and you get a cream of students. And lower cost because my processes run faster, better, cheaper, and different. There's an innovative aspect to it where I can do online registration, I can get my everything online, digitizing, etc., etc. To get the results, I need to manage my processes. And I manage my processes with a trilogy: Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Brahma does the planning, Vishnu does the control, and Mahesh does the improvements. Right? The trilogy applies everywhere. Unless you have all the three processes in place, you're not going to succeed in managing a process. What should you plan for? What's important to the customer? What should you control? What's important to the customer? What should you improve? What's important to the customer? Don't forget your customer. We put posters in industry, in our in our reception areas, etc. Customer is king, customer. But the way we treat our customers is not that. Don't forget your customer. The customer pays your salary. To support these processes, we need an infrastructure. We need a basic system in place. And that system can be an ISO system, it can be NABH for healthcare, and what are your systems called here? NAAC and NQ, you have many systems available. Financial management also has an accounting system in place. The fact that you get your accounts audited, does it mean you make profit? The fact that you get your accounts audited, does it guarantee you profit? It only says you've reported with integrity. The fact that you get your quality system audited, does it mean you're delivering customer delight? It only means you've reported the information correctly. I need to use this information to strategize using quality planning, control, and improvement. Are you with me? Customer-supplier partnerships. We've heard in Bombay of a certain school of repute where a child was murdered. And the blame fell on the bus conductor. Now, just think of it. Are there many other services we outsource? Could be the cafeteria, could be others. Does your customer really care what you outsourced? No. They've come to you, and how you manage is important to them. It is your brand that they've come to. So you can't have a lame excuse that was outsourced service, that's not ours. You need the total chain. Customer, supplier, customer, supplier, customer, supplier, customer, supplier. Total organization involvement. How do you get a total organization involved? It's very simple. What you measure, that's what you get. Redefine jobs. Redefine the performance appraisal. Redefine the promotion policy. Redefine the induction, recruitment, to emphasize quality. People are not stupid. They will align to what they are being measured for. Measurement and information. Measurement is raw data. When data is processed, it becomes information. When information is used, it becomes knowledge. One of the most underemployed assets of an organization, including educational institution, is the knowledge resident in the people. It needs to be managed. And education and training, because people make quality. Foundation. You can't have any of this above unless you have the foundation right. Customer focus, I've spoken enough about that. Leadership. One wants to know what the leaders are doing about customer. Are you meeting customers? Are you understanding customers? Are you like a chairman in Hindustan Lever who walks the streets to understand his customers? Strategic quality management. Integrating quality into your strategic plans. Now let me give you a prescription on how to fail. Delegate too much. Train without action. Education with action is remembered. Education without action is easily forgotten. Confuse activity with results. We've got 100 project teams, but what results? Misuse tools. I'll use a Pareto for everything. I'll use a histogram for everything. Focus on attitudes of people. A, B, C. HR teaches us A, B, C. Focus on attitudes, behavior will change, and you'll get a commitment. A, B, C. It's the other way around. You can't change anyone's attitude. You can't change your own attitude. Get a commitment first, define the changed behavior, and hopefully someday attitudes will change. Ignore data, go by gut feeling. This is my experience. Go too fast. Change has its own majestic pace. You need to absorb the social consequence of the change and skimp on human resources working on the change. With that, I conclude and tell you Our mission has been made in India since 1987. And our claim, over the past 30 years, we have cumulatively saved our clients in excess of 20,000 crore in terms of cost of poor quality. The cost of poor quality in any organization is 1/3 your total cost. Think about it. India can make it and make it better. That's it.